Hey, Tik Tok community. I wanted to take a little bit of time today and discuss something that really helped me get through this experience. And what experience am I talking about? It has a lot of different names, right? Targeted individual experience, gang stalking, spiritual awakening, kundalini, whatever you want to refer to it as. This negative influx of energy that has come into our life that manifests in a lot of different ways, whether it's through hearing voices, tactile sensations, a lot of dream manipulation. So, I've kind of gone through all of this. And, in this country, America, right? So we sort of have this societal precedence towards cultivating a dualistic perception of things, meaning we have a very good versus evil perception of things, right? So we have good over here and we have evil over here, and the two are always in some sort of a battle with one another. And what helped with me getting through this was adopting a non-dualistic perception. So what is a non-dualistic perception? It is not good versus evil. It's the understanding that good necessitates evil, and vice versa. Evil necessitates good. All right. So we wouldn't know what good is without evil, and we wouldn't know exactly what evil is without good. Right. So we have these two extremes, one over here and one over here. And we're always under the assumption that the two are going head to head and they're fighting one another, and that one must conquer the other one in order for some sort of a triumph to occur. Right. And that got me in a lot of trouble going through this. Coming to the understanding that one does not exist without the other one opened up a door of acceptance. Okay. Now, that acceptance doesn't mean that it is okay for me to participate in activities that would create suffering in the lives of other people, or my own life for that matter. All it means is that I accept that these things happen regardless, right? So, and the best way to look at this is that to look at the things that we consider evil, the things that create suffering in the lives of others, as a point of reference, right? So you have evil all the way down here and you have good all the way up here. And if you look at the experience itself, the experience really kind of hones in on that, doesn't it? Right. So it's always tearing the mind in two, right? 1 minute, if you're hearing voices, the voices could be calling you the greatest thing on the planet. And then the next minute they're calling you the world's biggest piece of shit. Right. So you're always torn between this and that, black and white, here and now, fat, skinny, smart, stupid, yes and no. Right. And what I found helpful was finding myself right in the middle with just being able to say, I don't know. Right. Because when we can say, I don't know, right, it's a release of arrogance. It's honesty. Right. It's the adoption of, a mindset that's humble enough to say, I don't have all the answers. Right. Because for as long as you assume that you have all of the answers, this thing will push you and push you and push you until you finally break and say, you know what, I don't have all the answers. And now that's not to say that you're stupid. That's not to say that you're dumb, or that's not to say that you don't have the ability to understand certain spiritual significances. It simply means that we have a lot of ignorance in this world, right? We come into this world, we have no clue what the hell we're doing here, right? We're one of 8 billion people, all just kind of striving for some sense of significance in this world, and some, and using our ego to overcome our sense of insignificance in this world. And if you look at what this thing really harnesses in on, it is that sense of confusion, that inherent state of confusion that we come into this world with, right? As a human being, I have no clue what I'm doing here. Why do I exist? What is my purpose here, right? And we go through our entire life trying to figure that out. We're in this constant state of contemplation, always just trying to figure out exactly what the hell my purpose is, right? And it'll play with that. It'll play with that a lot until you really come to some sort of a truth within yourself, right? Something that you can hold conviction towards, something that you can say, I believe this to be truthful. And if I apply this to every aspect of my life, it makes sense. And it creates a life that is worth living. It creates a life that brings joy into my life and joy into the lives of others, and creates less of a rippling action of suffering into the lives and the lives of other people. right? So if you can look at this phenomenon as an intentional display of untruth, forcing you to find and hold conviction towards your truth, it'll begin to make a little bit more sense. And then eventually a gratitude will develop towards it. Okay. And there won't be as much of a fight. There won't be this battle of good versus evil. There will be gratitude, like I've been going through this for years. And it started off with gang stalking, a lot of mental manipulation, and then the voices started 24/7, just completely. It was a barrage, a cacophony of voices that just entirely honed in on my negative self-image, my perceptions of the world, the way that I viewed the world, and FOPO, my fear of other people's opinions was a big thing that I had to get through. So, and when you can actually get through that, when you can get through it and you can be content within yourself as a human being, there is a sense of gratitude that develops. And as unorthodox, inhumane, and unethical as this thing can be, it's helpful if you can view it that way. Now, you can fight it too. And in a sense, you're fighting yourself. That's all you're doing is you wind up fighting yourself. And a lot of people commit heinous acts in this, So I've come to the belief that schizophrenia, and I'm sure a lot of people would disagree, with me with this, but that schizophrenia is misunderstood entirely in this country, and that what we face serves as a catalyst, forcing us to face our fears. It forces us to face our fears, and it forces us to face our sense of insignificance and our ego. And when we can face those things, what we wind up doing is we overcome ourselves, right? So one of my favorite quotes is from the Buddha. And, the Buddha said, though a man may conquer 1,000 times 1,000 men in battle, yet he is the noblest victor who learns to conquer himself. And there is, that's it right there. That's the truth. And that's what this thing does. It's a battle. It's a battle that forces you to conquer yourself. And then in hindsight, you find out that there really wasn't a battle, just you not willing to face yourself and look at your own reflection and then eventually break through that mirror. So, all right, guys, I hope you got something out of this and took the time to listen, and feel free to leave feedback or comments or anything like that. Also, if you're still listening, we have a Reddit community called Positive TI that is really blossoming and blooming. There's like a 12-step program there that is all entirely oriented towards helping you to understand this phenomena, become more self-aware, and cultivate self-acceptance, eventually leading to self-attainment. And self-attainment is the usage of that self-acceptance, right? When you begin to actually flourish and utilize it into the world. We also have a YouTube channel called Power Awareness, where there's an intro video, my personal testimony, and we just did a video with Dr. Jerry Marzinski, who was a psychiatrist of 35 years, that after 35 years experience came to find out that, came to firmly believe that schizophrenia is a misnomer, right? That the diagnosis of schizophrenia is not true. And what he believes is that, kind of like what I was saying, is that this is a negative energy that attaches to people. So if you guys get a chance, check out the YouTube channel Power Awareness, and stop by the Reddit community. We also have a Discord attached to that Reddit community with 24/7 dialogue happening at all times, with weekly voice chats, and a great community of people willing to help everybody kind of come up into an awakening and enlightenment together. All right, guys, take care. Thank you for taking the time to watch and listen, and have a good one.